Hello, hello! Happy Friday and welcome to an all new Friday Fail. Bad wedding planning advice on the internet. I'm Jamie Chang, your destination wedding planning guru and designer of joy here at Mango Muse Events and the creator of Passport to Joy. And I'm so thrilled to be with you here today. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're an old friend, as always, welcome back. As you all know, the internet is a great place. There's a ton of information, right? But not all that information is good. And this especially applies to wedding planning, which can just leave you feeling really lost and confused, stressed out, and overwhelmed. And we do not want that. So in our Friday Fail, I share one item, one topic from a wedding blog, forum, or website, and the bad advice associated, the fail, and then most importantly, helpful professional advice you can use right now, today, in your wedding planning. Now, today we are talking about your wedding meal. And the question really is this: how do you save money on your wedding meal? And this is a really important question, right? So I'm sure you're very interested in the answer. Now, this is the advice that was given in response to this question. Serving your meal family style will add ambiance, act as an icebreaker, save you on table decor, in this case the food is the centerpiece, and allow you to serve a menu of reasonably priced festive dishes like pasta, polenta, and risotto that would never fly at a plated dinner. Okay, so there are definitely some issues here, and I really want to make sure that you actually get help saving money on your wedding meal because it's a big part of your budget. But let's dive in from the beginning, and then we'll get you all the good, awesome tips you can use, okay? So to start off, yes, one of the upsides of doing a family-style meal is that you could save some money on table decor because family-style meals require big platters on your table, which means you need space on your table. So you have to be just naturally very minimal when it comes to your table decor, which means you can save money on your centerpieces and your table decor because you just need small things. You don't want to take a lot of space because you want that space for your food. And yes, you can pick more reasonably priced dishes, as they say, but picking something like chicken over lobster is always going to help your budget no matter what type of meal that you're having. This isn't family style specific. And I think it's also important to say that there's nothing wrong with picking pasta or polenta or risotto for your plated meal either. But that's sort of a different discussion. There is a much bigger picture here that is being overlooked, that is we're not really talking about. And what that is really is the service side. Because it's not really about picking reasonable dishes. We're not really talking about decor here. It's the service side that you need to be concerned about. So there are really 4 types of meal service that you can have at your wedding. So the first is plated. And I'm sure you're familiar with what that is. Essentially, it's an individual plate of, say, chicken or beef or fish that you get for yourself. Then there's buffet, which I'm sure you're also very familiar with. Self-serve, you stand in line, there are multiple options, you can get to choose what you eat. Then there's family style, which is what we are talking about. Large platters of food that you share at a table. And then there's stations, which are similar to buffet in that it's self-serve, but there are multiple of them, and they usually are sort of created around a theme or a flavor or a type of food. Okay, so there are these 4. And while family style is great, and I love it, don't get me wrong, it is a more expensive meal type, a meal service type, because it requires more food and more staff. If you think about catering, there are really 2 big costs when it comes to it, right? It's partially the food itself, the cost of food, but it's also about the labor, the staff. And so if you think about it, if you think about the different meal types, let's start with plated. You have a set number of meals, right? You get all that information ahead of time. You know what people are eating, you know how much it's gonna cost. That food cost is pretty set. You do need a little more staff in order to service that, in order to make sure that those things come out in a timely manner. But you do save on the food side. Then there's buffet. And with buffet, you need a lot less staff, so you can save money there. But you need more food because people can go back for seconds, they serve themselves, and you have to be able to have enough food for everyone. Family style and stations require both more food and more staff because you can get food multiple times, you can eat more than your share, and you need people to actually man those stations or serve that food. So the point here really is just that family style meals aren't cheaper. They might be cheaper than, say, a station type of meal, but they're not going to be cheaper than a plated meal or a buffet style of meal, which means it's not going to save you money. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff, right? The tips that will actually help you save money on your wedding meal. If you're looking to cut costs, the best place to do that, to think about that when it comes to your wedding meal, is your type of meal, your type of service. You want to pick the one that's the most cost effective for you. So talk to your caterer. Talk to your caterer about what your options are and see what would be the cheapest, the most cost effective for you. Then you want to pick that. Now, if you need to cut costs even more, there are two other things you can do that will really help. The first is by picking less expensive proteins. So, like in the chicken versus lobster scenario from earlier, chicken will be cheaper than lobster. Chicken will be cheaper than fish. Pick the proteins that are less expensive. And then another thing you can do, which is also very helpful, especially if you're doing sort of a buffet type of meal, is serve 2 types of proteins instead of 3. Just reduce what you're serving on the buffet, and that will also help you with your costs. These 3 things will really help you save money on your wedding meal and will actually work. If you liked today's video, hit the like button. Check out our other wedding planning videos for even more tips, and hit the subscribe button to make sure you get all the new ones. And if you need help through the entire wedding planning process, check out my online program, Passport to Joy. You can find all the links below, because you deserve to enjoy your engagement, no matter what your budget is. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye!